Have you ever heard your own shadow whisper your name? Talia hadn't either until the night her shadow moved before she did. And when the shadows started whispering warnings, she didn't understand it was already too late for the town of Drewhollow, because the shadows weren't following people, they were leaving them. Talia lived in Drewhollow, a quiet town surrounded by tall pines and permanent dusk. Even during the day, everything felt dim, as if the sun never tried hard enough to shine there. She worked at a small antique shop, dusting old clocks and lanterns. Nothing strange ever happened in Drewhollow until the day she noticed her shadow flicker. It happened while she was sweeping the floor. Her broom moved left. Her shadow moved right. Talia froze, she blinked hard, rubbed her eyes, and stepped back. This time her shadow behaved normally. Or maybe she just convinced herself it did. That night, as she walked home, the street lamps buzzed overhead. The shadows around her stretched unnaturally long, like they were reaching for something. It was then she heard it. A faint whisper coming from directly behind her. Too close, too low. Talia, she spun around. No one, only her shadow, trembling like it was breathing. She ran home. Over the next few days, the whole town felt wrong. People moved slower. Their eyes looked drained. Shadows seemed darker, heavier. One morning, Mrs. Caldon, Talia's neighbor, knocked on her door. Her hands were shaking. "Talia, have you noticed anything strange? My shadow, it's gone." Talia stared. Mrs. Caldon stood in the sunlight, but the ground beneath her feet was empty. No shadow. None at all. That same day, Talia saw a man collapse in the street. Two others screamed, pointing. His shadow, look, it moved on its own. The shadow rose from the ground like smoke, slipped into the alley, and disappeared. By nightfall, half the town reported vanishing shadows, and the people who lost theirs grew pale and weak, like their life was draining away. Talia barricaded herself in her home, candles burning everywhere. Shadows flickered along the walls, whispering more urgently now. Sometimes they said her name. Sometimes they said one word, run. But from what? She discovered the answer when she found an old journal in the antique shop's back room, hidden under loose floorboards. It belonged to the town's founder, Elias Drew. The final entry read, "The shadows are not ours. They came from the dark between worlds. They cling to us for warmth, but if the boundary weakens, they will return home. We must keep the lantern lit." What lantern? What boundary? Talia searched the rest of the journal and uncovered a map of the town's old watchtower. A faded drawing showed a massive lantern suspended inside. Elias called it. If it died, the shadows would detach and go back where they came from, and the people would fade with them. Talia climbed the hill to the abandoned watchtower. The forest was pitch black, windless. Every shadow along the ground twitched like they were alive. At the top of the tower, she found the lantern. Huge, dusty, dark. The flame inside was nothing but a dying ember. As she approached, her shadow peeled away from her feet. It whispered, "Save us." Talia grabbed the lantern's handle and shook it, desperate to spark life back into the ember, but shadows began crawling up the walls, swirling around her. Some whispered, some screamed. Her own shadow wrapped around her arm like a trembling hand, urging her to act. Talia lifted the lantern and whispered, "Please, just one more spark." For a moment, nothing. Then the ember glowed. A soft pulse of light. Then a brighter one. The shadows screeched, collapsing back into place beneath their owners. The tower filled with a blinding flash, and everything went silent. Talia woke on the tower floor, breathing heavily. Her shadow lay quietly beneath her once more. The town slowly recovered. People regained their color. The shadows behaved normally, if a bit heavier. And the lantern, Talia kept it lit, returning every night to make sure the ember never dimmed again. But sometimes, only sometimes, she hears a whisper behind her, "Thank you," and she hopes it's gratitude, not a warning.